how one man's ingenuity out in the oil field has changed the game. We talked to him on this episode of The Crude Truth.
In 1901, at Spindletop Hill near Beaumont, the future of Texas changed dramatically as, like a fountain of fortune, thousands of barrels of oil burst from the earth towards the sky. Soon, Detroit would be cranking out Model Ts by the millions, and America was on the move, thanks to the black gold being produced in Texas. Now, more than a century later, the vehicles are different, but nothing else has truly changed. Sure, there may be many other alternative energy sources like wind and solar and electric. But let's be honest, America depends on oil and entrepreneurs, and if the USA is truly going to be independent, it has to know the crude truth.
This episode is brought to you by LFS Chemistry. We are committed to being good stewards of the environment. We are providing the tools so you can be too. NAPE Expo, where deals happen. Air Compressor Solutions. When everything is on the line, Air Compressor Solutions is the dependable choice to keep commercial business powered up. Sandstone Group. Exec Crew. Elevate your network, elevate your knowledge. Texas Star Alliance. Pecos Country Operating. Fueling our future.
Well, hello again, and as always, to everyone out there, thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Crude Truth. For all our viewers and listeners out there, we're recording here today from our South Lake studio here in North Texas. So shout out as always to our sponsor, Real News Communications, for as always giving us these amazing studios to use in such a professional setting. The day that we're recording this episode, it is a Friday. And for all our listeners out there, I'm wearing just a good old-fashioned polo and ball cap today, something that's completely different than the norm. And that has a lot to do with our guest today because, as I had in our teaser, this gentleman has brought a whole new positive energy to the oil and gas oil fields. And it just spreads like positive wildfire whenever you think this guy around. My guest today is the co-founder, because he does have somebody else that helped him find it. We'll talk about her in a few.
That's right.
Co-founder and vice president, I think, of Complete Solids Control, Randy Nicodemus. Randy, how are you?
Good. I'm doing good. Hey, I finally made it, man.
It has been 2 years in the making.
I feel like I've made it.
Oh,
I feel like no, I'm saying,
no,
Chris, dude, I feel like I made it. We're here.
I thought you meant he finally made it on the show.
That too, but
you
like,
can try to schedule this for
this
2
is the
years.
pinnacle, man.
Yeah.
This is it. This is wild.
I promise. And God willing, with the way you're going, this is going to be the bottom of that.
Man, I don't know. This is a whole new high right here. I'm digging it. I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me, Ray.
Well, thank you. And now, as you take a drink, did I say your last name right?
Nicodemus?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Complete Solids Control. Yes, sir.
And your last name too, right?
Nicodemus.
Yes, Nicodemus.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's what I just want to make sure, because it's one of those.
Yeah.
It's out there.
You hit it, man.
But once people know who you are, they know who Randy is.
That's right.
Because people know you out in the oil and gas field. Like, they know that you are the co-founder, and I give you a hard time, and we'll talk about your lovely wife and how she is your partner and everything.
Sure,
that you're
yeah.
doing. But, you're out there. It's like, and the owners of the companies are not out there on a daily basis the way that you get out there and you knock on doors and you say, hey, how's everything going out here? And, that's just one of the many things I want to talk about today. But for everybody out there that hasn't watched you on several other well-qualified shows, shout out to our good friend JP Warren out there and the Connection Crew and Crew Club.
Shout out JP. My God.
Who is Randy? Let's talk about you.
Who's Randy's? Well, like I say all the time, father of 6, married to my lovely wife, Rachel, for 16 years now. And I wear a lot of hats. So obviously, founder of Complete Solids Control, Integrity Centrifuge Services, a father to 6, my son's football coach, their flag football coach. So that's a whole nother world right there. I'm a judge at home. I'm a pastor. I'm a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur. We're all the things.
Yeah.
So we're just a hardworking first generation oil field family, and one who was introduced to it going on year 19 now.
Wow.
Yeah. So 19 years ago, fell in love with it, knew right then and there this was what I was going to do. this solids control thing, I knew right then and there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's who we are.
Well, let's talk about complete solids control, because for those that are in the industry that hear solids control, not they all should be hearing about complete solids control.
Sure.
Which is an amazing company that,
Thank you.
Complete Solids Control. For those of y'all haven't heard it yet, you can check them out. There's my shameless plug for them.
Yeah.
But what is it? What do y'all do? Because it's a niche, but it's part of every single well that is drilled here in America. So let's talk about that.
Yeah. So it's pretty common, especially out in the New Mexico area. It's almost environmentally, like it's almost a law.
Yes.
You have to have a closed loop system when you're drilling. So we focus on helping operators drive down cost when they drill a well. And we do that through mechanical separation with secondary drying shakers, with decanter centrifuges. That's how we help them drive down their costs. And with that comes reducing days on well, reducing dilution ratios, maintaining mud weights, keeping a clear, clean fluid that you can return back to them in real time as they're drilling.
Right.
And there's a bunch of other positive impacts we have.
Yeah.
But that's what we do. And that's what we specialize.
What is it like? Because when you say the closed loop, for those out there that are like, well, what do you mean by closed loop and returning a product that they can use immediately? What exactly is it that you guys are doing out there?
Yeah. So closed loop meaning like, you'll see wells that are drilled with earth pits.
Okay.
Right.
You got holes in the ground.
That's right. Lined out with with liners. And that's what we did a lot in the Barnett Shale. And it still happens right in the Texas side. But in New Mexico, it's, like I said, from what we've seen and know, it's, you got to be closed loop. So what we do is they do away with the reserve pit, and it's a pad and stored, instead of the cuttings and mud going into a reserve pit, they're now being captured in containers.
Yeah.
So open top containers, right? 40-foot bins that you get all your drill cuttings and your drill fluid, right? And we recycle that. And we just imagine filtration units when it comes to, like I said, the centrifuges and reclaiming that fluid for them in real time. So cleaning it up, sending it right back to them, right through their pumps and back up into the well.
Yes,
right.
And by cleaning it up, you're cleaning up the water, because
so we're taking the drill fluid, right, and we're taking that and we're separating the solids from the mud, right, and basically sending them back to cleaner material.
And then they just use it right again, because I think a lot of people don't know that it takes a lot of water to drill that well. That's getting high pressure down in there, just like everything else, and it has to come back out.
Correct. And they don't want drilled solids are an operator's worst enemy.
Yeah.
So that's our job, is to monitor that and clean that fluid of the drill solids.
And you're doing something, again, you mentioned New Mexico. A lot of my listeners that watch the show and listen, they know that regulations are heavier in New Mexico than they are in West Texas. Yeah. And even though we all consider East New Mexico definitely West Texas these days.
For sure.
But the laws are different. Things are a little bit more stringent out there. And that's why you use these closed loop systems and provide great companies like Complete Solid Control that are out there keeping the environment even that much more safe.
Correct. Yeah, it's definitely a different world out there. But, we've been out there going on. So I was out there before Complete was born. Mm-hmm. So I'd say 2 years before our birth. Yeah. So 8.5 years now we've been out in that New Mexico area.
Well, man, let's go back here when, let's go back almost at 20 years when you're like, oh, this is it. What was it that was like, okay, this is what I'm doing?
Oh, man, let's travel back for a minute. So it's funny too, because I had a guy reach out to me on LinkedIn. We've been connected on LinkedIn for a while, but he's a real estate agent now. So I didn't know who it was, right? It was a real estate agent. And he was like, hey, Randy, he's like, man, congratulations on CSC. He's like, I remember back in 2005 when you worked the rig with me and you told me, you were like, man, I'm going to start my own service company one day and we're going to do this thing much differently. And it was so cool. And man, it just put me back in a really cool place.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I could share that message with you. I mean, it's awesome. And I was like, man, so I had to travel back in time.
Yeah.
Right. And I put myself in that place and I remembered that. And why? Well, coming from where we come from, the rougher part of Dallas, There was no oil field family before us. You know, my grandpa was a hard worker, but he focused on the roofing industry, and you know, none of us, you know, followed him for many reasons. We were just different, you know.
Right.
But when I was introduced to the industry, it was like literally a whole new world. It was almost like an escape.
Whoa.
You know what I mean?
I could see that.
Yeah. When I was able to go out to the rig and work nights, I was with my best friend Terry, you know, growing up in the oil field, and he stuck me on nights, and he's like, I'm taking the nights off every night. So you're working nights, buddy. You know? So I'm like, I'm stuck working nights, but it was cool, man. Cause it was just an escape, you know, it was me, my coffee, my music, the work, and the stars at night. And I fell in love with it. I just fell in love with it. I didn't know exactly, obviously coming in, the group we were with, I didn't get the proper training. So I didn't really understand everything that we were doing out there. So I had to kind of learn that myself. Why are we here?
Yeah.
What am I doing for this operator, for this rig? Like, what's the purpose of these machines? Why are we processing mud? Right? Where is it going when I jump in the excavator, and why is it going there? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was just the whole process, man. And I was making lots of money.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Tons of money. Used to. I thought I'd make more when I started the company.
No,
that is not the case.
That's not the case.
Yeah. Those are the good old days, but
we didn't have to worry about the bills and the back.
No, man.
Dude, I love how you talk about the working nights. Like, you know, when I broke out, I started off by working on drilling rigs.
What year was this?
Oh God, this was 2011, 12. Right before we hit right when we were about ready to hit that peak. We peaked in oil in 15, right?
Right.
And same thing, you know, a buddy of mine, well, we had just started Pecos, and Dad goes, all right, get out to the oil field. Because I had an undergraduate degree in organizational development and behavior.
Say that again?
Yeah, exactly. It's a get out of college degree. Yeah. And that's why I'm going back right now for my master's to actually focus. But, you know, I get out there, and my love it, jumping for joy, like, oh, heck yeah, come on out, Lane, come on out.
Yeah.
You know? Well, he was just happy because he found some idiot that could work the night shift, you know, on a drilling rig. You know? Yeah, exactly.
That was me.
Yeah. He's like, oh, man, I'm going to work the nights anymore. I'm so excited. So for the next year and a half, man, you know, I don't know what day looks like.
That's so funny.
And training. But then I like how you talked about what you're doing, because after that, I got into the flowback side of things.
Okay.
And same thing. I started off there working nights.
Man.
And yet, but you're there at night. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
And you know, you're doing things. You're changing chokes out. You're monitoring the sand. You're monitoring these wells to see what the flow is when they come online. And you're out there doing your thing by yourself. By yourself. If you get tired, I don't know I would get out of the truck.
Yeah.
Do 20,
there
30
you go.
push-ups right there.
Yes, sir.
Going again.
That's funny, man. That is the truth too. Like so Terry was a big guy.
Yeah.
He was my best friend. He was my best man at my wedding. He passed away a couple years ago. He's the one who introduced me to the oil field. We had a weight room back there. Like we had rig mats, and me and him just put together a gym.
Yeah.
So like it was our own world, right? You're in the backyard of a drilling rig. You're doing your thing, man. It's you know, 3:00 in the morning comes around. You already know it's time to start dozing off. And dude, I would take pre-workout.
Oh,
I would just take a shot of pre-workout. You know what I mean? And next thing you know, I'm like pressure washing the derrick at 5 a.m. I thought, you know what I mean? Like, no, it was cool like that. But that was the only challenge, obviously, when you get into those early morning hours and you have been monitoring things, and even an easy night is still, it's high level.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're on a rig.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy.
But yeah, working out, dude, push-ups, dumbbells, run around the rig, you know, with your steel toe boots on, like it was a lot of fun.
Don't fall asleep. Don't fall
no,
asleep.
sir.
Yeah,
no, sir. No, sir. Yeah. I learned the hard way.
Oh no.
Before I took pre-workout, you know, there was some moments, and didn't do that again.
Well, tell me, when was this moment? Let's go back to that when this gentleman, hit you back up on. What was that moment? Let's talk about that. Like, what was that moment? You're like, let's talk about it.
Like when he brought that up to me.
Yeah. Well, not when he brought it up.
Oh, just about the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just. So like I've always had this entrepreneurial spirit, and if you were to ask like where'd that come from, I would just credit that to my grandfather. Because he was a boss. Yeah. Like he moved how he wanted to, when he wanted to. Yeah. You know, Mexican cat, couldn't read or write, but he could get anywhere in the world off of Mapsco. Remember the Mapscos?
The book.
The book.
You gotta get the grid.
The big,
Yeah.
the size of that screen back there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but Grandpa, he made things happen.
Yeah.
You know, and he supported generation after generation up until he passed a few years ago. And so, like, I just watched the way he moved.
Yeah.
And I love the way he was able to take care of us, because there wasn't, outside of my grandparents, there was no security in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as a kid, that's scary, right? Like, no dad around, like, no, there's no security. So you're always like, and especially in the rough parts of where I'm, you know what I mean? It's a different life, man. So, like, I just admired my grandfather. Yeah. Like, I looked up to him and I was like, man, I just want to be like him.
Yeah.
Now, did he know anything about oil and gas? No. He didn't have a hand in it, but his influence in my life was, I guess that's where it would come from. But being in that moment, I felt like I had just found what that was to put me in that situation and be able to provide like he did for all the crews he had. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a ripple effect.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I'm going to do this. Don't know what it's going to be yet. I went from selling magazines door to door to, you know, cars from the Nissan dealership, man, to, you know, all kinds of things, right, through my life.
Yeah.
And then it was oilfield. And like I said, that's what
it changes you.
It changed me, man. Yeah. I mean, it was rough at first, you know. I mean, you go through some things, but, you know, praise God, it worked out.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, it's not for the weak, and I don't mean that physically. No, I mean that mentally. Yes, it is a mental grind. I mean,
yes, sir.
When I got into it in 2011, I was a 26-year-old, I think, 27, working with the 18 and 19-year-old slinging chain. Okay, I mean, so I went from, you know, I got this degree, did all that, and all of a sudden I'm down there with me and my buddies, you know, all excited, but, you know, but, you know, he's like, oh, yeah, it'll be easy and all this. And me, you sling chain at 2 a.m., you know, making sure that things are right. And it was hard, but got through it and did it again and again. And, you know, it's funny, we're talking about all this stuff. I had a gentleman come out to one of our leases yesterday, and I think it took us 10 minutes to get to the back. And, you know,
congratulations, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Got to talk about that as well.
Thank you. But, you know, he goes, man, you know, it's not too far back here. And I go, no, we'll rush, you know, from the paved road to the back.
To the back, yeah.
I go, yeah. I said, no, God, no. I said, because there's, you know it. Sometimes you get to the paved road and where that cattle guard starts, and 2 hours later,
yes, sir,
get to the back side out there in West Texas. You know?
Yes, sir.
So that's before the 2 hours back to Midland.
Yeah.
And also,
it's even longer in Pennsylvania. It's even worse.
Oh, and colder.
Oh, man.
Oh,
those are some crazy nights. Dude. Those were not cool nights. Well, they were cool, but those were probably some of the most depressing nights.
When did you head up to Pennsylvania?
In the crash, I think it was 2008.
Okay.
Remember?
Yeah.
Right. So the next thing you know, we wake up and it's a different world now. You're back at home overnight.
Overnight. Yeah.
And so, man, I have to travel back in time to really think how I found that lead. But, you know, you're in the industry, so there's folks looking out for you, and, you know, and I got the call, hey, bro, I'm going to Pennsylvania. Let's ride. So I jumped right on it. Yeah. And, you know, I was like, I want to be on nights. Like, that's just, you know what I mean? And, but yeah, so.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I spent 2 years up there in the Marcellus show.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So that was it was cool. And then there was we talked about the mental thing. I don't want to get too off track. You were talking about mental. I wanted to touch on that. It's like, so there were times where, like, you're out there, man. And I say this, like, if you haven't ever shed a tear while you're doing what you're doing, you ain't went through it.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like being in a corner crying, like sucking on your thumb. I'm talking about, like, you know what I mean? The mental taxing that it has on your life and your families and things like that. Like, I was there, man. I was there. I was there. And I was like, nah, never again. So.
And that
started a new chapter, but that's for later.
Well, you know, we can,
oh, man.
We'll fast forward it, because you know, in the beginning when I was introducing you, you have a great partner. 16 years, 6 kids.
Yes,
6,
sir.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Let's talk about her and what I mean. Y'all freaking get up at 5 a.m. and go run together, for goodness sake.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
She drove. Well, she got me into it. I didn't get her into
see,
it.
look,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah. She's she's all the motivation. And she runs the business as well with everything that you don't see in the field. She's taking care of.
Yeah.
You know, her and Miss Sandy, they do an awesome job keeping us boys in line and making sure we are financially okay and not spending outside of our budgets. And, you know, 16 years, been together 17, 6 children. Yes, we're done. We're enjoying being able to be dialed in to everything they're doing. Not, you know, it's tough when she's, you know, having another baby and locked down for a year or two raising that one when the other ones are, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
So anyway, she's back on her health tip, and she's got me doing 3 miles a day now. So we're up at 5 a.m. We're out the door, we're getting it, and it's off to school with the kids. Breakfast is made, off to school with the kids, come back, we're walking at that point, and you know, we're exercising, man, and we're on a recreation of ourselves to be in the best shape, spiritually, physically, mentally, like elite. We want to be in the most elite place of our life.
High velocity
All the time.
Wow.
Yeah, all the time.
Wow.
Yes, sir. It's crazy, huh?
Yeah, that is tense.
Yeah.
What was it about? Like, okay, I'm about to, like, you know, get off topic.
Go there.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like, what is? I mean, look what y'all are doing, and for those out there that do follow your UNCSC, Complete Solid Control, they probably see the same thing. Me as your friend, you know, SC, which is you're just elevating everything that y'all are doing right now. Y'all are picking up more rigs.
Yeah.
Y'all are getting more savvy on decision making. And I would have to say, just from the outside looking in, that's coming literally from the inside out on your side. Would you say that's
absolutely 100%?
Wow.
Yeah, it's just pretty wild.
Where did this come from? Like, let me ask. Like,
oh man,
is it not what?
No, yeah. No, yeah. It's just, you know, so like we've had a lot of friends pass. We've seen. I mean, we've all seen. You know, if you live long enough, you're going to see a lot of people go.
1 or 2.
You know, yeah, you're going to experience some heartache, and we just always, like, since we first got together, you know, I was working out, she was working out, so we've always been 1 foot in the gym, 1 foot out.
Okay.
But you know, I feel like I feel like, you know, the Lord's put it on her heart to help people heal, and really anointed her in that area of her life, and she has naturally. So she's a real natural approach to everything in your life, and I've seen it. I've seen miracles happen based off, you know, the things that God has given us as our resources here to help heal.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's been the thing, is number one, just healing, whether it's from trauma, right, in life, to getting your mental state right first so everything else can get right, to healing the liver, to the heart, right? You know what I mean? To your family, to your kids. And so that was the push. And though we're obviously not where we want to be physically, mentally, like she's there. She's in a better place than I've ever seen her in her life.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just cleaning that up, nutrition, working out, exercise, detoxing, like she's a new person, man. And I'm like, I'm riding with you. You know what I mean? So, and now I like at 40, I just turned 42 last month, and I kid you not, man, I really do feel better than I ever have. Like even in my 20s when we were out there balling, and you know, like
balling,
you know, well, sports.
Yeah. Oh, I thought
you know what I'm saying?
I thought you meant the other kind. You know, we
thought we were balling.
Yeah, we thought we were balling. Forever out there, quotations, balling. You know.
Yeah, get that right. That too.
I cannot believe that we got all this, you know, with my co-host that's normally on here with me, Chris. You know, that's some things that she talks about all the time, is just getting that mental right, that way that, it's almost like, you got to get all these things right. And it's just a natural approach to
Yes.
do it. And
It is.
it's been a blessing on my end to kind of learn some of these things.
Mm.
But to hear from a good friend of mine that it's like, hey man, here's what we're doing
Yeah.
and as a couple, though, which is
Sure.
different, right?
Sure.
But I think that's awesome, dude, because again, we talked about it in the pre-production meeting. It's like you have been on this kick, and it's been going on for probably at least the last year and a half.
It was.
I'm thinking, well, no, I'm
Yeah.
thinking back because I know that you and I would go grab lunch, we'd do this, and then be like, hey, I'm just going to start this. I'm going to start this. Then it was about a year of a just kind of like you're doing you,
Mhm.
right? And it was like, hey,
Yeah.
you're like, hey, what are you up to? I'm busy, right? And
Mhm.
and now you come back in a way, and even
Mhm.
though you haven't,
No, sure. I follow you.
and you were just, I mean, your social media is you're even getting more involved in social media. I think in the last, I remember again, we were joking at the beginning.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get you on here for 2 years,
Yes, you have.
and you couldn't even get on, but not by physical or anything, but like you've been a part of the connection crew, which I think has probably been a good thing. We can talk about
Beautiful.
that,
Yeah,
but you've been on JP's. You were on that Great Ladies there in Midland,
Krista.
Krista's, yes. And I remember I was like, what's this guy doing on the shows? He keeps telling me, no, man, I can't do a show. I can't do this show.
Well,
And you are now doing your own. And the reason I say those things, because you're not doing your own little posts and reels talking about real subjects and real things right now.
Yes.
What was the whole idea of doing that?
we always talk about startups.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing is, after COVID, it was already difficult to get into the offices in the industry, right? And to the operators. And so I'm like, okay, well, dude, I can't afford a sales force. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm right there.
I really cannot afford that.
Yeah.
Shout out to the great ones out there, maybe one day. But
Looking for a sponsor?
yeah,
Complete Sauce.
Hey,
We'll
I know a guy. So it was like, and we talked about earlier, like just like my grandpa ran his own thing. I'm running, I go out there and I do the business development side of it, because there were times where I had some folks approach and it just, the drive and the heart wasn't there. It was paychecks and paychecks for everybody. And, my grandpa always told me, I say always, I say as we got older and we could have those talks, he would say, there's nobody going to sell it like you, because it's not theirs and they're not you. So the heart can't be in the same place yours is, right? It can be on the right track, and it can be a heart to support what you're doing and to be a part of that, but it's not you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got to go out there and you got to make it happen every day.
Wow.
And so I'm like, okay, in order to get into as many offices as I can without physically being there, I'm going to start putting out content so these folks can see, right, that we're not only experts in our field, but you can also get to know us before we seem like every other business development cat out there beating on doors. I here's the thing, Ray, is like I said this the other day too. I was like, I don't want friends to give me business. I want to make friends through business.
Okay.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like, I feel like if I can put content out, showcase who we are, why folks should be dealing with us, then by the time I do get an opportunity to be with an operator, they know who I am.
Yeah.
Right? They've done their homework. I don't even have to sell anything, because I hate sales. Like, I don't want to sell anything.
I love it.
I want to motivate.
Look at you.
I want to.
Really,
I mean, yeah, I really do. I want to
motivate.
I want to inspire, man.
Yeah.
I'm motivated by motivators.
Yeah.
Right. Shout out JP. Like big influence on where I'm at right now. Right.
Nowhere.
Yeah. Like it's one of them things. I'd rather spend my time in the business motivating my team.
Yeah.
Inspiring them, lifting them up, helping them on their different projects, not just driving sales. So that's another reason for my push for the reels and the videos, is like, so that way by the time you reach out and talk to us, you already know what it is. I don't have to sell it. You know what I mean? And there doesn't have to be that same relationship between sales and operations. You know, does that make sense?
Oh, it completely makes sense.
So that's why
it's a relationship,
right.
It's not overnight, but the true relationships that you build, and not a quick, hey, I can get you done today. They're the ones that are going to be there through thick and thin, that when a project may or may not go right, that'll be like, hey, we got you. Like, don't worry, it's okay. Let's do it again.
Right.
And you can sit there and you can talk to these people, and you build that, and you continue that. You know,
and you can build that before it even gets there.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Like most people that are into the podcast world and listening to the oil and gas news and staying up on things that are happening, they're watching you, they're listening to the Crude Truth, they're tuned in, and then when you see them, you don't even have to pitch anything. It's like, hey man, what's up, dude? I see you all the time. Oh, that's my oil guy. Remember?
Yeah.
So that's what I want. I want genuine relationships. I don't want to be looked at as comes the sales guy. Man.
Yeah. Well, you're not. I mean, like the other thing I said when we were doing this ship. So I mean, your energy, your vibe. I mean, really, when I was thinking about it, every time we get together at a dinner, we're sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
And we're cutting up. I think
the whole time, man.
Your wife was there. I think she said, hey, y'all need to
I need to chill out.
Yeah, y'all need to chill out. And it's like, but and you have a great vibe, dude. It's like this picture being out there in West Texas with you in that truck. And it's like, we're going to be cutting up the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Having a good time. And then, boom, you turn on like this. But it's not even that you change. That's the thing, though. Like, when you get to work, you're at work. And I can tell the difference, I think, because I'm your friend.
Sure.
But I think your vibe does not change, man.
Yeah.
You are, I mean, I remember when I said, hey, I want you to get on here, and you're not wearing it. I said, I want you to wear your brightest shirt, because you got some shirts. Man.
Yeah.
And, it's like, and that's why I said, hey, I'm going to wear a ball cap and a polo.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
I wanted to match the casual hour.
And I wanted to match you today. I was like, I wanted the energy to match. And that is what you bring anywhere you go. It's this energy. And I believe at 110% that people's energy spreads.
Sure.
And you get people on the phone, hey, what's going on? Hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, it does everything in my power not to go, oh, I'm doing okay. It's like, hey, how are you doing? Okay, good. Like, I got to bring it. But you naturally just bring this energy everywhere you go. I mean, even Chris today, we're joking, man, he's jumping up and down, and he never met you before.
Yeah, yeah.
Chris is my producer here at Real
Shout
News.
out, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Chris, we love you. But I love that. And I think that's something that all your customers truly enjoy about what you do. It's like, you can tell that you love what you do. You're the man out there. And yet your crews, I think it also feeds into your crews, your whole persona and everything like that. Like, you got some great crews out there.
Man. Yeah. It's the best it's been since we've been in business, and, you think about growing, which we have been doing.
Mm-hmm.
You get like, man, is it safe to grow at this speed because of the crew we have right now? Can you replicate that?
Yeah.
And we've been able to do that. Yeah. We've been able to do it. And so shout out to the team, because we all play, I believe everybody, from the guys in the field, on the boots on the ground level to up here with us, we all have the same impact on the company.
Yes.
And I tell them that all the time. I'm like, man, don't get these titles and these roles twisted, man. You know what I mean? I'm a hand.
Yep.
Y'all are all in sales. We're all in sales.
Yeah.
And like you said, the energy. Got to keep that energy high.
Yeah.
I
have to.
One of my videos was just kind of touching on that, about how that's infectious, right?
Yeah.
And I was telling my children that the other day, because, man, if we knew this stuff when we were 15 years old, dude,
I feel
my life would have been like, it'd have been much different.
Yeah.
So I'm like, guys, you got to be that energy in that atmosphere, because if it's not there, and you fall into that, then who are you?
Yeah.
You're not changing anybody's life. You're not changing anybody's energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let's change it.
So, yeah.
I love that.
Every day, man.
Oh, so
That's why, it's always a blast hanging with you, Ray, especially at our dinners, man. We don't get much done but laugh. It's great, though. That's what
I was like, hold on, wait, I got to interject here because the conversation.
I know.
You're coming back and forth, like, wait, hold on.
And like, most people, I'd probably feel bad because I'm like getting in their space when they're trying to have dialogue. But with you, I'm like, we're like brothers, man. I'm like, nah, man, I'm about to. Yeah. We're cutting up right now, Ray. Listen, no, not happening. Then, they can wait till later.
And then Michael Tanner was sitting next to me. I go, Mike, answer this question. Mike,
say something quick. Oh, it's amazing.
I think once I said, well, that's a good point over there, but I think Michael Tanner here can also, Mike, right? What do you think? And he just keeps talking for me.
Oh,
we just go back to cutting up.
That's hilarious.
Speaking of, what's next for you guys? What, as y'all continue to grow right now, what are you going to do? What's the plan?
Oh man, the plan is to keep growing.
Okay.
I really am wanting to, what's the word I'm looking for? Add new product lines to the wheelhouse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? New things that, well, not like, I wouldn't say anything proprietary right now, but
we are launching a brand new line of Air Force Ones.
Yep. And you will be able to glide.
Yes. You will jump and dunk from the free throw.
Yep.
No,
absolutely.
But
no, just keep growing the product line. Yeah. Offer some extra services to what we're already doing, and take this thing to a new height. I don't know what that bar is. I just know that like what we've done, I'm cool with.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm pumped up. I'm on fire.
Yeah.
But it's not good enough.
Right.
It's not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough. It is good enough. It's not enough.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's you're. I'm not going to use the word addicted, but you love the hustle. It's like
sure.
I go look at the tank.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, not enough.
I know. Yep.
Not enough.
Yep.
Let me ask you this. Okay, we are down about 100 rigs than we were this time last year. Rigs across. Where do you see the service side of the industry going here, especially finishing up the year going into 2025?
Competitive, obviously.
Okay.
Like I said, I see we're going to have to start implementing some serious technology to what we're doing into our space. Because then it's like, okay, we all got similar operations and equipment. What's left, right? When equipment meets equipment, what do you got? You got
new things going out.
You got service.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, when service meets service, what do you got? Well, I love Ray. I do business with Ray. I love Randy too. I'll do business. Well, then it's technology, which is for a later day.
Hint, or as they would say, message.
Yeah.
Message.
Yeah. So we're working on some things.
Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be exciting.
Well, let me ask you this. You were asking me, you can put me on the spot. Yes, I am. All right.
Okay.
So I've been trying to do this thing. I'm not good at it. I don't ask everybody.
No, I'm not either.
I do.
I'm not either.
I'm going to ask you 5 burning questions that everybody wants to know what you're doing right now. Okay. These are the 5 questions. I took a poll. Everybody wants to know these 5 things about Red and Nicodemus at complete sauce control.
Sure.
First of all, what is a show that you're binge watching right now? On streaming, on what are you streaming?
Oh man, honestly, this is so I told you I'm coaching my son's flag football team, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm following great coaching. I'm trying to see that's the thing, right? Yeah. Which we can go back into why am I driving the sales and don't have, because I'm obsessed with wanting to be great at everything. So like I'm dialed in on this coaching thing. How do these coaches get these teams of young boys and men to follow, right?
Yeah.
To be disciplined. Like what were the great coaches doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how can I be a great coach?
Whoa.
Right?
Deep.
So that's what I'm on right now.
Okay. Are you reading any good books right now?
I am sort of bouncing around several different books. I think I'm in the first chapter of 3 different books right now,
Okay.
and I just keep toggling. It's all audio.
Okay.
But of course I'm in my Bible.
Oh yeah.
So that's the book.
All right. So being a North Texas guy now,
Mm-hmm.
what's one of your favorite restaurants here in town?
Ooh. In Fort Worth or Dallas? Just DFW?
W.
Man, I like Ocean's Prime.
Oh no! Oh, dude, OP
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
By the, oh, yeah, but oh yeah, right there.
Is that?
yeah,
Yes.
right across the street from the Crescent?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that where it's at?
Yes.
Okay.
Ah,
We've been there twice, and I'm horrible with like.
if that's the one, yeah, where you got the little circle drive.
Yes.
you walk in.
Yep. My first time there was with the crew.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
JP had it there, and I want to say that was my first crew club event.
Wow,
And I like Haywire too.
dude, I was
Was it Haywire?
in Houston for the first time a couple of weeks
You went
ago.
to a Haywire?
Yes.
What'd you think?
The drinks were excellent.
Okay.
They were so good.
There you go.
They were so good. I've been on a 30-day sabbatical
There you
since.
go.
They were so good. Yes, there was one over there. We were there. What were we there for? Oh, there was a crew club event.
Okay.
And then,
Is that where it was at?
no, it was at Eddie V's, I think.
Okay.
And
Eddie V's is
yeah, and then what else was I there? Oh, I had several events. We tied it all into one. And then the last favorite sports team. That's the other question. Everybody
favorite sports team,
Yeah.
NFL sports team.
Sure.
Dallas Cowboys.
All
I mean, come on.
right.
I mean, I'm from Dallas, baby.
Okay,
You know what I
I
mean?
love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
So no matter what the schedule looks like or the record, we're
They're getting. Somebody asked me the other day. They're like, "Well, what do you think about this or that?" I said, "I'm not. Jerry's
Yeah.
gonna get 3 hours from me
yeah.
for the next 17 weeks.
Yeah.
He's welcome.
That's funny.
I ain't
No,
got time to worry about." But this dad contract is
I was gonna say Dad got paid.
he got paid, and then somebody showed me his
Mm.
stats versus Mahomes stats,
Yeah.
and they're very similar. That's the best I'll say. You know, with
Regular
percentage-
season.
regular season,
Okay.
very similar. I get it, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't- you're not
I
feeling
grew
it.
up when you got paid to win.
Yeah.
You got paid when you won.
Yeah. You earned your pay.
You earned your
You earned your pay, right?
You earned your pay. Flacco, I think, was the last one where he did that whole year. When he
went to the Super Bowl?
yeah, and he went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They won it, and then he got paid after that.
Mhm.
I get it.
Sure.
Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, right?
Yeah.
Michael Jordan. Okay, that dude didn't get paid until
Did you?
now.
I know.
The greatest of all time.
Especially compared to what cats are
He's
getting
getting-
today.
I know. And-
Now he's paid now.
Oh, that dude.
yeah, he is
Way paid.
Yeah.
Way paid.
still the greatest in my opinion.
Oh,
when it comes to
yeah.
basketball, MJ,
Yeah, you can't.
MJ or Kobe.
Oh, it's him.
Well, I mean, I know
Yeah.
accolades and things like that, but like personal, I gotta go. Man, I love Kobe just as much. I
yeah.
got to see Kobe play, but
Yeah.
I'm going MJ on that.
How can people get a hold of Complete Solids Control to get their work done out there in West Texas?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
You can call Ray Trevino at 43. No, so you can find us on social media, Complete Solids Control on LinkedIn, Randy Nicodemus on LinkedIn,
That website.
CompleteSolidsControl.com. Instagram is coming. Everything's
We already
pretty-
Instagram?
complete. So, yeah, Complete Solids Control. Yeah, I just started a TikTok too.
Did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel really ancient on that because I have, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, what? I'm learning it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, man, I cannot thank you enough, man. At all, dude. This
dude, look,
last we got a stand I didn't even think we get into today.
I told you I've finally made it, man. I feel like I finally.
Dude, I'm like over here slumped in. I mean, like I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, I'm having this has been a blast, right? Thank you, man. Seriously, this has been great.
Thank you. For everybody out there that hasn't connected with Randy, please connect with him. He's one of the greats out there in West Texas and all over America. Who we kidding? And for all our listeners out there and viewers, thank you as always, and we'll see you again on another episode of The Crude Truth.
Again, the Crude Truth would like to thank today's sponsors: LFS Chemistry, NAPE Expo, Air Compressor Solutions, Sandstone Group, Exec Crew, Texas Star Alliance, Pecos Country Operating, and Real News Communication Network.
The easiest way to start your own podcast and TV show? Real News Communications Network. Stand out from your competition. Produce streams of high-quality social media content. Become a thought leader in your industry. With RNCN, you get to be the host. We handle everything else. Tour one of our 3 locations in Dallas, Fort Worth, and the Colony. Call 972-402-6333 or visit launchashow.com to find out more.